The northern sun streamed through the thick canopy of the pine forest, scattering gentle golden light across the rugged wilderness. The air was damp with the resinous scent of pine needles and decaying leaves, breathing in rhythm with the quiet footsteps of the woodland dwellers. Amid birch trunks and towering evergreens, majestic figures moved gracefully, a herd of noble deer. Among them, protected by the strength of the adults, trotted a fawn named Elior. He had only recently learned to walk steadily on his slender legs. And now his young heart overflowed with excitement as he discovered the vast world around him. The herd followed a familiar path, weaving from one forest stream to another, threading through dense thickets. Every ear twitched at the snap of a twig. Every nose caught the faintest whiff of danger. Leading them was Arden, the wise elder of the herd. His immense antlers branched like ancient trees, carved by years of strength and endurance. With his stern gaze and steady stride, Arden carried the heavy burden of guiding and protecting his family. Each measured step was a promise of safety. Close beside Elier walked his mother, Cerise. Though young, she had already endured many hardships and possessed an instinctive vigilance. Every so often she nudged Elier gently with her nose, reminding him silently, "I am here." But Elier's curiosity was stronger than caution. While the adults busied themselves digging for roots and berries, Elier's eyes caught a dazzling dragonfly glimmering in the shafts of sunlight. Entranced, he pranced after it. First he wandered only a little ways, but soon he strayed farther and farther from the herd. The forest was alive with marvels: the drumming of a woodpecker, the rustling of leaves, the sudden burst of a grouse taking flight. Elier played, tossing twigs, pawing at tufts of grass, leaping to startle grasshoppers into the air. He laughed in the way only children can, unaware that danger lurked nearby. Back with the herd, unease stirred. Cerise raised her head abruptly, scanning the undergrowth with sharp eyes. She called out in a long, anxious cry. No reply. She called again, louder, more insistent. The herd grew restless. Arden moved forward, bowing his head low, nostrils flaring as he read the scents on the air. His eyes flashed with grim knowledge. Something was wrong. He would not hesitate to lead his family straight into danger if one of them was at risk. Meanwhile, Elior had reached a clearing where the trees thinned and the grasses grew tall. The forest had fallen strangely silent. Even the birds held their tongues, as if the woods themselves were holding their breath. The fawn froze, head lifted high, every muscle tense. Instinct whispered, "Be careful," then movement. From the underbrush shadows emerged, wolves, 8 of them adult and experienced hunters, their eyes gleaming gold, their teeth bared in cruel grins. They fanned out, circling in a chaotic rhythm, advancing and retreating with predatory patience. Fear thundered through Elior's heart, but it did not paralyze him. Memories of the adults stamping their hooves and facing down danger flickered in his mind. He tried to imitate them. He raised his head high, stretched his neck, blew sharp snorts, and stomped the ground. His thin legs trembled, but he lashed them defiantly. A gray she-wolf crept closer, belly low to the earth. With a sudden lunge, she charged. Elior stamped harder, kicking up a puff of dry earth, and let out a piercing cry. Startled, the wolf skidded to a halt. Rarely did fawns resist. This one was different. Far away, Cerise burst through the forest, ears pinned back, hearing her son's desperate call. Her heart hammered with every bound, the ground quaking beneath her hooves. Behind her, silent but resolute, the herd followed, led by Arden. His massive antlers tore through branches, and his heavy breaths rumbled like thunder. The fate of his family balanced on this moment. The wolves pressed in closer. One slashed Elior's flank with sharp claws. The fawn screamed in agony, but staggered back to his feet, panting, striking at the air with trembling legs. "Ing!" His cry carried through the forest. Cerise recognized it instantly, the unmistakable voice of her child in peril. She answered with a shrill roar, fierce and urgent. Then she burst into the clearing. With a bellow and without slowing, Cerise hurled herself into the circle of wolves. Shocked by her ferocity, they leaped back, growling uneasily, pacing in search of weakness. Their snarls echoed, but their eyes betrayed hesitation. At that moment, Arden ascended a small rise, towering above all. Broad-shouldered and unyielding, he was the embodiment of strength. His hot breath hissed like a storm wind, a warning to all who dared approach. Elier pressed against his mother's flank, trembling yet unbroken. He had learned what it meant to fight. Suddenly, a new sound shattered the tension, the growl of engines. Forest rangers' jeeps rolled onto the narrow dirt track nearby, halting with care. The wolves, sensing human presence, dissolved into the shadows of the trees without a trace. The engines died. The rangers knew to move slowly among deer. One stepped forward. Jonas, a seasoned ranger and veterinarian, calm and steady, he raised his radio for a quick report, then approached the wounded fawn. Elier quivered but did not flee. Jonas crouched, speaking softly, and with practiced hands cleaned and bound the gash. A small injection soothed the pain. Through it all, Arden stood like a sentinel, his antlers poised, ready to defend should the human falter. But Jonas moved with respect, and the elder allowed him near. When the jeeps departed, the herd lingered, wary. Only as the sun dipped low, painting the sky crimson, did Arden finally lead them onward. Elier limped, but his head was held high beside his mother. That day, the northern wilderness revealed its truth. Even the smallest member of a great lineage could show remarkable courage. A wise leader, steadfast in duty, could guide his family safely through peril, preserving not only their strength but their unity.